Friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're very welcome. My name is Molly. I'm an astrologer and I'm a small town tarot card reader. And I am here to forecast the full moon, talk about a little bit of Mars retrograde, and also pull a few cards for each of the zodiac signs. I will be using solar wheels, which is one house for each sign, and we rotate the wheel and read on a sign by sign basis. It's not as specific as your individual birth chart, but it still works, and I hope you'll still get something good out of it. We're starting off looking at the full moon. Let me pull up this full moon chart here. This is the full moon at the time of the full moon, and it's set for my location. But in your location, the houses will probably come out just a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is kind of standardize it now. Set the house system to moon on first. Okay, we're talking about a lunar event, so moon on first makes sense. So we're seeing everything in the chart relative to that new moon itself. The full moon appears in the sign of Gemini. Communications, okay? So there's a lot of coming and going around this full moon. Gemini is a real busy sign. The Gemini full moon contacts two other planets in this chart. Possibly three, depending on how you slice the cake yourself. That first planet is Jupiter. Okay, it's kind of a wide conjunction to Jupiter, but I think we still feel it. Jupiter makes us expansive, optimistic, willing to try new things. Jupiter's retrograde, so you might be feeling a little better about yourself because it pulls the expansive and optimistic energy of Jupiter, the abundance, the good grace that you give other people. Maybe you can give yourself a bit while Jupiter is retrograde. Yeah, but this full moon tunes into that Jupiter, so you might find yourself in a more expansive mood or considering some kind of expansion. But there's a but there, you guys. Jupiter is connected to Saturn in this chart by a square, okay? And Saturn is in, I don't know what the heck is going on, sign Pisces, okay? There's always a lot of unknowns when there is Pisces energy involved. And the full moon even more closely squares Pisces' ruling planet, Neptune. So there is the potential for misinformation, things going inaccurate or wrong in some way, mysteries that are hard to solve, confusion, even deception. Now, this deception might be due to somebody being confused and not really knowing the story, or it could be that they really are concealing information or hiding information or misdirecting intentionally. Okay, the planets don't tell us that. They just tell us that some of the crucial information might be missing right now. Okay. In addition, Mars is retrograde in Leo, heading towards Cancer. And I don't know about y'all, but I am feeling it, man. There is just so much frustration. I had like 7 errands on my list. I got 2 of them done. I was able to get gas and I was able to find a pair of pants that fit. But all these other things on my list are just still up in the air, not being resolved. I can't find the right part. Can't figure out what the problem is with things, and so it can be a little frustrating right now. It really can, because Mars is retrograde and Mercury is also retrograde until December 15th. So that means at the time of this full moon, Mercury is going direct. So, but at the time I'm filming, Mercury is also retrograde and it's hard. Okay, but so we're all in kind of a process of inwardness and review. And attention gets drawn inward into the past, reviewing the past, catching up with the past. This full moon is ruled by a retrograde Mercury that is still retrograde at the time that the full moon occurs. So there may be this element of going back that even persists after Mercury retrograde straightens back out again. So be ready for that. Yeah, Mars retrograde is low energy. Mars you can think of as like a soldier that's, looking out for danger, that's protecting the homestead or protecting what's dear to them, what drives their passions. Okay. So Mars has kind of a purposeful energy, an action-oriented energy. So when Mars goes retrograde, that energy gets pulled inward and towards the past. So Mars comes in a little closer to Earth. Mars glows really brightly during Mars retrograde. Did you know that? Retrograde planets actually glow. They have a brighter shine than direct planets. Isn't that something? Because they make a little loop and then they continue along on their way. And that's what Mars is doing right now, making this little loop and then going to continue on its way. And once that continuation process starts again, we'll all feel a little more like we're moving forward again too. So for the meantime, don't push for things to happen fast. It just tends to not go that way. In my practice, I'm all about using the energy. They say use the energy or it will use you. For example, you use the energy of Mercury retrograde by reviewing your notes from the past. Reviewing what worked in the past and what didn't. And taking time with decisions. Taking time to inwardly mull them over and consider what your next step is going to be. Or how you're going to word that letter. Or how you are going to communicate that thing that's really important to you that you don't really know how to say. So mine your past. If you went to school, go back and refresh yourself on your notes. Look at old contacts. Go through your phone and see who you haven't said hello to in a while. Mercury retrograde's great for all that. So what's Mars retrograde for? Well, Mars retrograde is about checking in on past actions, past activities, going back and checking all the gates in your fortress, making sure that they are properly closed. All right, so you're going back, you're checking the gates, and you're strengthening your foundation. You are reinforcing and strengthening what you already have, as opposed to normal Mars activities when you move forward into something new, which Mars loves to do. We all love to feel like we're getting somewhere, right? But when Mars goes retrograde, it's like we have to respect that pause. And if we do respect that pause, and if we do take the time to strengthen what we have and think about life in that way, then Mars retrograde tends to go just a little bit easier, because at least we're not working against the cosmos, right? Because working against the cosmos ends up wasting your energy and has you working against yourself. There's a lot of exciting things happening right now, but I want to focus mainly in this video, the full moon and the Mars retrograde, because those are two really important longer term things that are affecting us all. So I'll go sign by sign and I'll tell you which house of the chart these things are having their impact on for you. It's not as specific as a full reading of your birth chart. And if you're interested in that, well, I have a special going on. And that special is, I checked out my competition a couple months ago and I realized I'm way undercharging. Like, I'm undercharging everybody right now. It wasn't intentional. I just haven't raised my prices in about 10 years. So that's going to happen in the new year. In the meantime, if you want a reading at my low rate, which turns out to be a discount rate, then go to mollysastrology.com/work-with-me. Or just pull up mollysastrology.com and click the link near the top that says work with me. And then you'll find information how to schedule a free 20-minute check-in. You can meet me, see what you think, and we'll go from there. Today I'm going to draw cards from these wonderful astrology study cards that I got off of Etsy. Let me find the name of the shop because they're really great. It's a sister team. One sister does the artwork and the other sister does the astrology. And I just love these cards. They're so nice. Pure Astrology. That's the name of this Etsy store. Pure Astrology is the Etsy store. Look at this cat. Look how cute she is. I am going to be working with the Antique Anatomy Tarot. That's just the mood I'm in today. The Antique Anatomy. It's a great deck. It does have skulls and things. If you're not into skulls, then it's not for you. Come on. Get down. Okay. I had to kick my cat out to talk to y'all. But I'll make it up to her later, I promise. She's a sweet little floof. Okay. Who is going to be my first reading today? Taurus. Okay, Taurus, here's your wheel. The full moon appears with Jupiter in your second house. Awesome. Jupiter in your second house can expand your income. Awesome. It can also expand your expenses. So keep it all in check because Jupiter is square Saturn. So we have abundance and this kind of freewheeling, take a risk type of energy. But it's square Saturn, which is like, yeah, but there's rules and limitations and restrictions. And so you got to be choosy about what you're spending on right now. Which is kind of hard because it's the holidays and it's, 'tis the season to spend a lot of money, right? But I can see a potential for you to overdo it here. So just be careful. Be careful. There might be a hint of stress coming from your social life, your friend group, a team that you're on. Maybe more than a hint. And there may be some confusion or even deception or gossiping or something like that that is affecting the team dynamics too, with Saturn and Neptune hanging out in your solar 11th house, Taurus. Yes. Mars retrograde in your 4th. Your personal life may be a source of frustration right now that has not been easy to resolve at this point because Mars retrograde is very frustrating. But work patiently through the difficulties and hopefully you will get somewhere with whatever situation that is. There's some promise around this full moon because the ruler of the full moon, retrograde Mercury, is trine retrograde Mars. So there is an opportunity here that I see to maybe work out some deep emotional stuff because both of these are in emotional houses. Let's pull a few cards for you, Taurus. Tarot spirits, give us a message for Taurus, please. Any Tauruses that come on this video and want to watch it, give me a message for that Taurus. Give me a message for that person. Taurus, your message is about something you've been maybe disappointed about, something that you've disengaged from emotionally. Good gracious. There's a lot of emotional stuff coming up for you. It must be what I was reading in here with the Mercury and the Mars in these emotional houses for you. There's a lot of emotions. I'm seeing that you may have started up a new relationship in the past or been interested in somebody in the past. In the past, this person was less mature than they are now. They have grown up a bit, and you're starting to see a different side of them, a more mature energy from them. Maybe it's not what you expected because I am seeing this detachment and this disengagement emotionally from something. Coming up in the future, I'm seeing that wonderful message of all the retrograde planets, especially Mars. You've invested a lot of time. You've invested a lot of energy into this thing. And it's growing under the surface. There's things happening around it, but it is going to take maybe more time. It's not going to go fast right now. It's going to go pretty slow, I think. But there is some waiting to happen while you bring this thing to fruition. That's the 7 of Pentacles there. And then I have the Page of Cups and the King of Cups. Yeah, cups are elixirs in this deck. They're called elixirs. Anyway, it's interesting to have the Page and the King come up because the Page is basically a kiddo and the King is an adult. The kiddo is just starting out and learning, and that's the past for you. And then the adult is the present. Maybe this is you. Maybe this is talking about how you were enthusiastic about something and you're, I don't want to say more realistic about it now, but you're more mature in your approach. Maybe you've gotten a better handle on your emotions. Maybe even too much of a handle on your emotions. Maybe it's important for you to kind of express and let things breathe a bit. But I am seeing the 7 of Coins, the 7 of Pentacles, and that's all about adjusting and waiting for that 8, which is the fruition. You're still waiting for that. Let's see, what's going to happen with that fruition? Oh, you're going to get what you want. You're going to get what you want. I see it coming in. It's developing now. It's happening now. It's happening now. 9 of Cups, 9 of Elixirs. Yeah, there we go. 9 of Elixirs. This focus is just not focusing, is it? That's a little better. We'll see. Anyway, the 9 of Cups. Yes. Bliss, joy, love. Getting your wish. Love it. Love it. Good luck, Taurus. All right, who's next? Let's draw another card. Aquarius. Hello, Aquarius. Hello. It's time for your reading now. Well, Aquarius, it's a time of great personal change for you with Pluto having just entered your sign. The Gemini full moon locates in your 5th house, the house of fun, games, children, love affairs, romance. If you're looking for any of that, then this could be an interesting time for you, okay? I'm not going to say all your dreams are coming true because, whoo, friends, Mercury and Mars both retrograde now. Venus going retrograde in the springtime, early March to mid-April. So things are kind of dicey in the romance department, I gotta tell you. But the 5th is also about fun, games of chance, expressing yourself, performing. You know, you might go and go for a night of karaoke or something. Jupiter appears in that 5th house as well. Jupiter is a planet of risk and expansion and growth. Yay, we love all that. Love it. But Jupiter squares Saturn in your 2nd, so you might not have the funds that you really want in order to do the things that you really want to do. You might be really feeling the pinch in the wallet right now with Saturn in your solar 2nd. It's going to be okay, though. This is all about taking a close look at how the resources are flowing through your life. Is there a balance? Is there an imbalance? Could it be possible that resources are becoming a burden to you? Woo, yeah. With Saturn moving through your 2nd house, are they blocking your joy? Do you have too much stuff? I'm not saying you do. I don't know, but Saturn moving through your 2nd is a really good time to consider those questions. Mars is retrograde in your 7th house, and this can make partnerships really frustrating for you for the time being. You're trying to move forward with somebody, with a contract, with a deal, and you are finding that it's not as easy as you expected. So caution lights around relationships. This is a good time to tune into others and try and understand them maybe on a deeper level, especially if you've been in conflict. It's not easy when you've been in conflict and you're feeling triggered, but I feel like the lines of communication can really be open if you're willing to dig deep. So let's draw some cards for you, Aquarius. Let's get a message for Aquarius. Please, Spirit, could I have a message for Aquarius? Oh my gosh. Look at this little guy just kind of popped out. Judgment. Judgment. This popped out in a really interesting way. There we go. Maybe he's in focus now. Judgment. Okay. Judgment. I like the Judgment card. I mean, it's a skeleton in a coffin. And in the standard tarot, in the regular tarot, the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, the Judgment card depicts an angel with a trumpet, trumpeting down from the heavens and calling forth all these dead souls out of their coffin. They're rising out of their coffins into a new place of existence. And to me, I love the message of this card, because this means somewhere where you felt dead inside is coming back to life. This means you're being called to some kind of higher purpose, Aquarius. That's why I really love this card for you. In the past position, I see the 9 of Wands. I see the 9 of Wands, and that's about resilience. That's about like, hey, I've gotten to the top of the mountain and I've made my little fortress and I'm kind of exhausted from that, but I'm safe. I'm protected. I've no more battles to fight, you know, so y'all can all just go get stuffed right now, because I don't got any more F's to give about this situation. So that's awesome. That's in your past. In your present is the 3 of Cups, which is elixirs, again, in this deck. And it's like love potion, bliss potion, joy tonic. All right. My girlfriends and man friends, I like what's going on for you right now. I think that you are circulating. You've got circles of support and circles of social interaction. And in the future position, I'm seeing the Queen of Blades. And she's a smart queen. She knows when it's time to cut to the chase. And she doesn't let herself get talked into things that she doesn't want to do. She knows herself, she knows her boundaries, and she isn't afraid to take out the blade and cut you if you cross those boundaries. So that's where I see you either being in the near future or needing to be around this full moon, Aquarius. And maybe it is that Mars in your 7th house that is calling on you to look at those relationships. To maybe, if you have anger, if you have frustration, to maybe look deeper. What's under that? Anger especially is a secondary emotion. It's covering either sadness or fear, usually. So this is a really good time to look at the deeper layers behind whatever is angering you or frustrating you. It might be an imbalance. It could be an unfairness of some kind. The 7th house is about the homeostasis of your relationships. So if you are doing more giving than receiving, or if things are just not balanced in a way that makes you happy and harmoniously feeling, this isn't necessarily time to do the thing about it, unless you're in immediate danger, which, you know, get the F out of there, please. Be safe. But if you are already safe and your feelings are upset, then this is a really good time to examine those deeper things, those deeper feelings. What sign is next, my friends? What sign is next? Round and around on the wheel of signs go where it stops. Gemini! Woohoo! All right, this is your full moon, Gemini. Gemini, this full moon appears in your solar first. Awesome. It's a full illumination of you, yourself, your brand, your identity. So this is time. This is time to say, this is who I am. This is who I am, and this is what I want. Gemini, you also have Jupiter in the first house, okay? So expand. It's a good time to circulate and expand, even if you are expanding in such a way that it's just reconnecting you with pieces of your past, right? Because your ruling planet, Gemini, Mercury, is also retrograde and opposite you over there in Sagittarius. Saturn is in the catbird seat of your chart, up there in the 10th house. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We love Saturn in the 10th. Saturn in the 10th is a long-term thing, and it tends to be a high point in career. It's a 2-year period when you feel really at the top of your game in career, so I'm really hoping that's what's going on for you, Gemini. If that's the case, then right now, while Jupiter is applying to square Saturn throughout December, the caution is to watch your assumptions, okay? It's really, really easy when you see Jupiter under stress to not question assumptions and think that you know the truth about something when you really haven't explored all the avenues. So double check your estimations and measure twice, cut once if you're in a building trade. And question your own assumptions about everything. It's too easy to overpromise or bite off more than you can chew right now while this Jupiter-Saturn business is lining up in these most important houses in your chart. Mars retrograde is in your 3rd house, so this is a further message from the cosmos to be careful about the details, right? The 3rd house is all about the details of life, and it can make things frustrating and difficult dealing with neighbors or relatives, usually other than your parents, are in your 3rd house. And just your everyday doings, the office machines, the people that you stop in and get coffee or supplies or hardware or whatever from, that is all subject to unforeseen snafus and frustrating limitations in moving forward in that area. Mars retrograde, gotta love it. No, we don't. No, it's one of my least favorite times, but that's not the point. Okay, let's pull some cards for you, my Gemini friends. Okay, Gemini, let's have a message for Gemini. What does Gemini need to know about this full moon? Gemini, this is about financial balance or the balance of give and take. I'm seeing a 6 of coins here. A Knight of Elixirs in the past, a Fool in the present. Ooh, exciting. And a 7 of Coins in the future. All right, so just like Taurus, you're going to have to wait for something. I'm sorry to say. But you are taking a leap of faith right now, and I applaud you for that, Gemini. Taking a step forward into the future, into something unknown, most likely. Into something that feels right, but you're still completely naive about. Which I get that because I'm in the same situation myself. I'm in a fool situation myself. And in your past situation, so this might be related to some emotional thing that you really went hard for in the past. Okay, this is a Knight of Elixirs. These elixirs are really coming up. Y'all must be feeling very emotional now. I get that too. But you got that Knight of Elixirs, which is kind of almost emotionally impetuous. Like, give me what I want now. Like, you're really going hard after something. But that appears to be in the past. It appears to be in the past, and it appears to have resulted in you starting over again, starting over something new, so that you can rebalance in the way that you need to. I don't know whether you're trying to get out of debt or some other thing having to do with money, or if it has to do with balancing resources in some other way. But the results that you're looking for are coming. It's just going to take a while. Probably not in this lunar cycle. Maybe coming up in the spring or the summertime, 2025. There's so many beautiful shifts. There's so many Fool moments coming in 2025, with outer planets moving into new signs for the first time in a lot of years. Saturn's going to move into Aries for the first time since the mid-90s. And Neptune is going to move into Aries too for the first time since the 1860s. Let that blow your mind for a second. And Uranus is going to enter Gemini for the first time in 80 some years. So it's a lot. It's a lot happening in 2025. It's a lot that's going to change and be different in 2025. And so I see you really stepping fearlessly forward into that, Gemini, and go you. Go you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you're worried about money, I think you're going to be fine. Everything slows down when Mars is retrograde. I'm in this pickle myself. Venus goes retrograde in the springtime, and so we're all kind of feeling the pinch for a while. But keep the faith, Gemini. Keep the faith. You're going to be all right. Okay, who's next? Sagittarius. It's you, Sagittarius. Yay! Okay, Sagittarius, your solar first house, the house of you, has Mercury going retrograde. So your brains are feeling kind of scrambled, I imagine, at this point, making it hard to think straight. You've got a lot of details up in the air, and it's hard to pin down a schedule. It's just a little more challenging to handle logistics right now than it usually is. But it can help if you tune in to that bigger picture, that Mars in the 9th house, okay? Because that Mars trines Mercury and offers some support, okay? Support through actions and activity that are of an inward nature, that are of a protective and strengthening nature, can in some way, either energetically or just logically and mundanely, those things can help you to feel a bit more in control, to feel a little bit more like you've got a handle on all of the details of this full moon and the holidays and all that stuff. You know, we love the holidays, but they can be a hassle. Yeah. The full moon joins Jupiter in your solar 7th house. So this lunar cycle, you might be very focused, especially around this new moon, you might be really focused on one-on-one relationships, whether that's your marriage or a close partnership or a dating relationship or even a work relationship, a deal that you're trying to bring together. There will be focus on that. And I think there is a positive outcome here because I'm seeing Jupiter also with the moon. But the same things as the other signs, Jupiter is going to square Saturn. So you need to be really careful at this time not to overdo, to respect your limits, to respect your boundaries. And for you, Sagittarius, this might be more of a personal life thing, where the Saturn energy shows up. You might find that there's limits on your activities. There's work that you have to do, emotional work, in order to feel emotionally comfortable right now with Saturn moving through, transiting your 4th house of home and family. And it really is one of the most tender houses and most near and dear to you emotionally. This can also be your parents requiring more of your time and attention than usual. Mars retrograde in the 9th house. This can be frustrating travel. Oh my gosh, if you're traveling for the holidays, then buckle up, because Mars retrograde can be really frustrating, especially when it's in your 9th house and you're traveling. It also has to do with court matters, legal matters, and education, things you're teaching, learning. Okay, so easy does it, Sagittarius. You can sail through this if you just simplify and stay within your limits. Let's pull some cards for you, Sag. Is this Sag's message? Yes, it is. All right, Sag. Oh, this message is about emotional fulfillment. It's about your family, your home life. Okay. Interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Wow, this is a really powerful layout that I've got here. Might take me some time to interpret this. The message is about all the things that you want. The family, perhaps, if that's your dream. This is about your dreams coming to manifest. Wisdom, harmony, calming, passion, happiness, love, dreams, wisdom, bliss. Probably some things you haven't thought of too. Because the card is also showing me a couple of things you haven't even thought of. But it's something that you're going for. It's like the emotional state you're always trying to achieve. Okay? 10 of Cups, 10 of Elixirs. In the past, you started a new love. The Ace of Elixirs, Ace of Cups. Can we see that? However, you've become trapped in that thing. The devil showed up in your present. Okay? The devil shows up when we're trapped, but we don't know we're trapped. We can leave anytime that we want, but there's something comfortable about it that keeps us there. There's something we don't want to give up. You know, the devil can represent addiction. It can represent staying in a bad relationship for reasons other than you want to be with this person. It represents a situation that you don't yet know, or maybe you do, but maybe you don't yet know that you can walk away from this. You can release it. You can be free. It's just about making those changes and changing that mindset and really seeing the truth about that situation so that the gates can open and you can move on into something that's going to make you happier. I feel like in the future position, I'm seeing the 8 of Pentacles. And that's telling me that you're working towards this liberation. I think that you are. I think that you are putting the effort in that you need to. Or maybe you're putting the effort in to try and make this bad thing work. I think that deep down you know which one it is. But I see you coming into your own as far as into your full power, into your full authority, into a place in your life where you feel in control again. Maybe even in this lunar cycle. Maybe even around this full moon. But there's a secret being kept from you, Sagittarius. The High Priestess has shown up. There may be a secret that is being kept from you. So use your intuition. If you do divinations, you might do a divination and ask, what is the secret that is being kept from me? Or maybe it is a secret that you are keeping. I don't know, but yeah, maybe you should be quiet about the work that you are doing. Maybe that is what it is. I'm not really sure, Sagittarius. So you go deep down and ask yourself. You ask your higher self, which it is, if you don't already know. Which I think you do. Sagittarius is all about knowing. Okay? I know you know. But I do see you working on getting your mojo back, and I do see you succeeding at getting your mojo back at any rate, no matter whether you're the secret keeper or whether you're going to find out something. You are getting your mojo back, Sagittarius. So good luck, and I'll see you next time. Okay, who's next? Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. The full moon appears in your 8th house. Jupiter appears in your 8th house. Couple of messages I can see around this. Number one, be careful about taking on debt and credit right now. It could balloon up and be a bigger deal than you thought. If you do need to use credit now, make sure you clearly understand the terms and that you aren't getting yourself into trouble. Because Jupiter's mostly good here, but there is that Saturn connection. You have to be realistic right now. And I'm just looking out for you, my friend. Mars retrograde is in your 10th house. That means career, your public life is frustrating right now. There's not the energy for the things that you want to do, but there is plenty of energy for making repairs, strengthening the relationships, strengthening what you already have, reinforcing what you already have, making sure you're protected, looking at your insurance. That's a good 8th house topic that's really positive. Go check on your insurance. Do you need more coverage? Do you need less coverage? Go ahead and look into that and see what you find out. There might be something there for you. There might be something really important there for you. Mercury retrograde is in your 2nd house. So, of course, be careful with money. Double check all the amounts on the receipt, that kind of thing. Yeah. And just a lot of changes for you right now with Pluto having just moved into your solar 4th house, Scorpio. There's just a lot of changes around your home and family, and hopefully they're good ones. Hopefully they are giving you some breathing room. Although at some point, if you have Scorpio in your chart at all, that Pluto is going to put stress on that, and then you will really be making some big life changes. But for now, just be open. I think being open to change, being open to evolution in your personal life, in your home life, is pretty good thing to keep in mind for you. Let's draw some cards for you, Scorpio. Okay, we have Scorpio's message here. Yes, we do. 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands, Scorpio. That's a marriage card. That has to do with creating stability and building out your dreams. I love it. 7 of Swords. King of Swords. 3 of Coins. All right. So there's some complications in this issue. Maybe there's complications in your marriage. Like someone's not who they say they are, or you're just learning new information that kind of shifts the whole picture for you. And maybe you realize that someone has either led you to believe something that's not true, or been outwardly dishonest, or maybe just didn't know what they were talking about. Maybe it was innocent enough, but they just didn't know what they were talking about. But they kind of left you holding the bag, Scorpio. I'm sorry to say. Currently, I'm seeing a King of Blades. Okay, so this can be... King is like kind of has a masculine vibe. It's like the fully developed blades. It's a fully developed intelligence, which can be great. A super smarty pants. All right, so this may be someone you're dealing with, or it could be representing you. The other side of the King of Blades is not that pretty, though. He can be a real jerk. He can really wound with his words. So if that is you, then you should know you're hurting people. But if that is somebody in your sphere, then you might need to take some kind of action to protect yourself. All right. So it could be a real smarty, A real smarty that could be you or in your midst, or a real jerk that could be you or in your midst. The tarot doesn't tell me which it is. I just see that King of Blades. And I see the Seven of Blades, which is kind of that little sketchy card around it too. So I tend to think it might be somebody who's more on the sketchy side, but I'm also seeing you collaborating on a project, something real world, something in the material real world, with others. You are kind of contributing your talents to make something that's bigger than anybody can make on their own. So there's a positive situation too. This could be showing you two sides of yourself. You know, you have this intelligent mind that can build things, and then you have this cutting side of you too that can hurt or wound or leave relationships in not such a good place. You know, I can relate to that. No judgment here, Scorpio, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm going to pull another card on the future. All right, there's a Knight of Coins with the Three of Coins. So this process of collaborating with others is something that you feel really passionately about. It's something that you are striving towards. It's something that you're careful about, that you're almost maybe even a little overprotective of. But there's that Nine of Cups again. I love that for you, Scorpio, because this means that whatever you're wanting to get out of this, you do get out of it. I think that you do. I think that you come to a place of fulfillment where this thing really fills your cup in the way that you expect it to. So good luck, Scorpio. I'm real happy for you. Okay, who's next? Pisces. Yes, we're water sign following water signs. So Pisces. There you go. You know, Pisces, this last year and a half with Saturn moving through your sign has been a lot of work. There has been a lot to do. You've been dealing with a lot. You've maybe been more limited in the way that you can move through the world than you usually are. And this is because Saturn is in your sign. Saturn is going to start moving out of your sign in 2025, but it won't really complete its transition into Aries until sometime in 2026. But Saturn's on the way right now. Saturn is on the way. So never fear, Pisces. You do still have some more of this to get through, but you're getting through it. And hopefully you're doing your work and you're learning a lot of great things about emotions and what it is to have boundaries and what it is to trust someone, what it is to have your trust broken, how to avoid getting mixed up with the kind of people who break your trust in the future. So there's a lot to unpack with this Saturn in Pisces, and you do still have a bit of time remaining to move through that process of emotional work that comes with Saturn. So good luck. I see Mars retrograde in your 6th house right now, and that's telling me you might be dealing with some health concerns or health issues. It's important to eat right. You might need extra iron. All right, Mars is about metals and iron, especially. Don't just take my word on it. It would be a good idea if you do have a regular health care professional to have them check your iron numbers and make sure that you're all good. Because too much iron is also problematic, so you don't want to just be taking it willy-nilly. But have your iron checked. And it might also be a good idea to take on some kind of physical activity. I wouldn't say anything strenuous because Mars is retrograde, and so your normal activity level might be, you might not feel like you're up to it. And so I don't want you to push beyond what's comfortable for you, but I do want to encourage you to at least push to that point where you feel like you've gotten some good activity, but you haven't gone past that point of comfort. Go right up to that comfort line if you can, Pisces. I see Mercury retrograde in your 10th house of career. And, of course, that means the devil's in the details when it comes to career. So watch all the details, and you may be in a process of repeating or reviewing something And if you are moving a project forward, then you may be revisiting it at a later point. The full moon takes place in your 4th house, and that's your personal life, your home, your family, your inner sanctum, hearth and home. It's home for the holidays for you, Pisces, because there is a lot of attention and energy going into your home and personal life. You may be expanding in some way, either moving into a bigger home. You might be bringing more things into your home, or you might be letting go of things so that you have more space in your home. Jupiter. Either way, home and family and emotional matters of the heart, matters of your personal life, matters of your family relationships are up for you in mid-December, Pisces. Let's draw some cards. Is this a message for Pisces? Yes, it is. Pisces, this is a message about the struggle that you've recently been through. It's about a struggle, and it's about your resilience. It's about recovery as well. I see you in the past moving from disturbed, from, what's the word I want? From turbulent waters into calmer waters. So you are starting to let go, perhaps, of some of the stress that you've experienced in the past few months. And you've got a new interest. I'm seeing the Hierophant here, which is kind of the preacher, teacher, belief system, system of knowledge. It's all about systems of knowledge. So whether you're going back to school or you're getting an education on some spiritual path or whatever it is, Pisces, I'm seeing that being important to you right now. I'm seeing that being a big deal in your life. And I think that you have a decision to make coming up in the future about this path, or about maybe this new path. It has appeared to you, and now it's like, well, maybe there's 2 paths. Maybe you got to choose. Am I going to go for adventure A or adventure B? So there's a choice coming up right now. There's that 9 of Cups again. You get what you want. You get what you want. Okay, and there's a 7 of Blades. All right, so you're going to have to choose wisely, because the 7 of Blades can be a trickster. All right, you're going to have to look carefully into the details, and you're also going to have to trust your inner knowledge, your inner wisdom, your inner vision, which I know you are extremely proficient at, Pisces. But sometimes it's hard to separate your intuition from just fears and worries and things that you imagine. Especially, gosh, worry is just imagining a negative outcome. So we need to really be able to just discern what is real intuition and what is just fear and worry taking over that part of your awareness. I don't know how you do that, but I imagine that the spiritual path represented by this Hierophant, represents a system that you can rely on. Maybe it's a system of intuition like the tarot. Maybe it is a trusted expert or mentor that you can go to, and that can help you kind of talk through the issues and get more clarity. I see it being very important not to move forward until you do have some kind of clarity and certainty within your being about the steps that you're taking. So I hope that helps you, Pisces. All right, who's next? Cancer. Oh, we got all 3 water signs in a row. All right, Cancer, it's you. It's you. Cancer, the Gemini full moon takes place in your solar 12th house. Okay, this means there's a focus on the unconscious, on dreams, on your spiritual path, on your intuition, on things that are hidden from view. All right. Jupiter is there. That's awesome. Good dreams, abundant dreams, perhaps, abundant spiritual activity. Protect yourself if that's your thing. If you sense spirits and they're bothering you, make sure you take some protections. You need to set limits with spirits, just like you would with any other kind of entity, whether they're in a body or not. We all need limits. So I see spiritual work. I see the potential for your spiritual experiences to challenge your religious beliefs, if you do hold religious beliefs, or you might just start to question the things that you think you know. That's kind of the energy that I'm seeing here for you, Cancer. Mars is retrograde in your second house, and that means you're frustrated right now, and your frustrations are about money, resources, finances, income. Either money is lagging or you can't get the things that you need in order to move your project forward. Whatever that project is, there is some kind of frustration, but this is a really good time to go back and check on your things, check on your structures, check in with your existing accountant, make sure you're on track to get your taxes done in the new year and all of that good stuff. Try not to get too hung up in finances. Just allow the moment to pass. It's not forever, although it feels like it. So be patient when it comes to getting the things you need. You might have to kick a project that you wanted to do down the road just a bit. And accept some compromises or accept a temporary solution so that you can kind of slow walk this retrograde process and then get things in place in a more permanent way once Mars has gone direct and things are settled down a bit more. All right, let's pull some cards for Cancer. Spirit, let me have a message for my dear Cancerians. My special Cancerian person who has popped on to watch this. I have a reading for that special person, that special Cancer. What's their message today? Okay, this is Cancer's message. It's about something that you're pursuing in the material world, Cancer. It may be that you have an overabundance of caution about this thing, but it is about material goals. This message is about material goals that you are pursuing with some energy right now. There is a new love that is attached to this. There is an Ace of Elixirs, the Ace of Cups. And that is an offer of new love or a new emotional, something that feels really good. A new emotional entanglement, a new emotional connection. All right. The Queen of Blades came up in the middle position in the present. And the Queen of Blades, I know I've talked about the King of Blades earlier for one of the other signs and how the King of Blades can be kind of a jerk. All right. Because the kings are like the fullest expression of the energy of the blades, which is intellectual, intelligent. So the queen is just as intelligent as the king, but is a bit more balanced about it. So the queen is a bit more measured with her words, and that's where I see you at right now. Or you could be dealing with somebody who's an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But anyway, I see you making intelligent decisions from a balanced place right now, Cancer, and I think that's great. In the future, I got the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups, that's kind of a soulmate card. It's a relationship card. It's two people sharing their feelings. There are giving of themselves and they are receiving the other. So this is great. This is great news if you're looking for love, or if you are looking to make a deal, if you're looking for a mutually beneficial kind of partnership, whether it's at work or in your personal life. I think that things are looking pretty good, Cancer. Let me draw a couple of clarifications here. Yeah, it's taken you a while to get to this place, and there's that King of Blades again. Just came up in the future position. So, interesting. This could be a divine counterpart for where you are now. Kings and queens are partners, right? So, we've got the queen in the present position and the king in the future position. So, does this mean you're the king or you're the queen? I don't know, but it looks like there's some kind of coming together that is rather hard won. I mean, there's a lot of adjustment around it. It's kind of like you've worked so hard and you kind of achieved the victory that you want to achieve. You got the attention, you got all eyes on you, but then you might have become a bit uncomfortable about that, and there's a little bit of pushback about that. But yeah. And you've got to be really careful about how you use your words too. Okay? You got super smarts, and oh my gosh, you've learned so much, Cancer. You know so much, and you're so freaking smart, but don't put down other people that aren't as smart as you are, okay? I don't know. I mean, all the Cancers I know are big old sweeties who would never talk in a King of Blades way to other people. So hopefully I'm talking to a very kind version of that Cancer. And if that's not you, then it could be someone in your midst who has some words to say. It could be this need to communicate in a very mature way with somebody. So I hope that helps, Cancer. All right, who's next? Capricorn, the full moon highlights your job, your day-to-day, everyday routine, your everyday comings and goings, the details of life, and your health. Okay, so there may be some illumination, there may be some activity around these things. Has to do with the job. If you're a boss, it's about your employees. If you're an employee, it's about your coworkers. It's about your job environment, your workplace relationships, your workplace routine. There's some full illumination around that, and there are opportunities for growth, but they have to be taken with care. You can't grow too fast or go too far because you face limitations right now. There is likely some kind of consequence for taking on too much work, or too many tasks, more than you can finish, more than you can complete. All right. Jupiter's great, but Jupiter's flaw is that it can take too big of bites and not be able to finish it all. Or that will finish it all, but gets very stressed out in the doing. Okay. So keep your head on, think really logically and rationally, and do your emotional work too. If you're on an emotional journey, which I think some of you might be, even though you're Capricorn. I know lots of spiritual Capricorns, but with Saturn and Pisces in your third house, that immediately brings to mind the idea of journaling your feelings, of personal growth through third house means, like writing or reading books, or just studying something in some way, being a student of life, being a student of emotions, really using that third house Saturn energy. Retrograde Mars appears in your 8th house. The 8th is a financial house and an emotional house. So, great time to go back and check on your insurance policies. Is your home properly insured? Does it need to be updated? Go back and look at your coverage. All right. Be careful around tax season. The 8th is about taxes too. Be careful with credit right now. that could weigh you down if you take on more than you can, or if you don't carefully read the details, because they really get you on the details on those little fees that pop up. So be careful. Just be careful with financial matters. And the squishier, the more emotional part of the 8th house has to do with trauma, past trauma, deep emotional complexes, Capricorn. So tread lightly around those things and give maybe yourself a little time to air out those things. Include them in your journaling. Talk about those past childhood experiences and how they affected you. Or talk to somebody. If you think what's in there is going to be disturbing enough, then find somebody that you can talk to about them who's going to help you, who's going to listen to you, and is a skilled listener. And I find that not many people in this world are skilled at listening. But if you can find one that you get along with, then they are worth their weight in gold. So talk to somebody about what's bothering you, or at least talk to yourself about it. Don't hide it from yourself. Don't keep it a secret from yourself, Capricorn. Let's draw a few cards for you, my friend. This message is about heartbreak. Someone broke your heart. Oh, man. And it was a tough loss. It really made you think about escaping the planet, which is something we can all relate to, at least most of us. There's someone you're missing now, Capricorn, but I don't think that you would go back. It's like, it still kind of appeals to you in that there's the pain of missing, and you feel like going back would help that. But I'm seeing better things in your future. I'm seeing an open door in your future for a new fertile path. You really stepping into your own greatness, Capricorn, through the energy of the Empress. The Empress. Oh, well, this is some interesting clarification on this Empress, because the cards are telling me the Empress is here to speak to something that you're pursuing in a hardcore way. Like, you're really going for something, going hard. It's something that really it toots your horn. It floats your boat. It creams your Twinkie, to be gross. Maybe it's not so gross. I don't know. But something that you feel really heartfelt about, and you're just barreling ahead. You're going for it. So you're definitely on your way somewhere. You're definitely on your way somewhere. Yeah. Because you're showing up as an Empress in your near future. The Empress is a mother. The Empress is a nurturer, a caretaker. The Empress is a creative soul. That's you, Capricorn. You're about to go into something way more creative, and that thing is going to take you places too. I'm seeing the Chariot. And also, guess who showed up here too? The King of Blades. He's shown up in a lot of readings today, this King of Blades. So, King of Blades, somebody who is as smart as can be. This is an expert. Maybe this is an expert that you're going to be working with in order to establish yourself on this new path or build this new thing that you are conceiving of right now. So use your intelligence, but don't be a jerk about it. That's kind of the message of the King of Blades. But you're on top of your game, and you're super smart right now. Just an incredible smarty. Yeah. You're on your way. It's a rough ride, but man, you are going places. That's the Chariot. So good luck, Capricorn. Good luck. I'm cheering you on. All right, 4 more signs. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be this time? Libra. Libra, I'm seeing this full moon in your 9th house. Your 9th house. So this is going to stir up activity. It's going to bring full illumination to 9th house matters, which are courts of law, beliefs, religious beliefs, any other kind of belief or overarching philosophy or system of learning that you have taken part in or that you subscribe to. It's also about travel. We're in the holiday travel season, so there could be travel happening for you, Libra. The full moon is there illuminating things, and Jupiter is there too, making everything bigger. And of course, Saturn is involved in the picture too, making things a bit more complicated. So yeah, travel could be something else this December. Just looking at the astrology of December, which I've done and I forecasted and everything, and travel looks hard this holiday season because Mercury is going to come through here, and Mercury is going to also join in with Saturn and Jupiter, and that's just looking like a big old mess on December 26th and 27th, the 2 of the biggest travel days of the whole year. So if you're all mixed up in that, I'm going to send you an extra bit of good luck, and I hope everything goes smoothly for you, because although I'm seeing a lot of places getting socked in or just overwhelmed, not everywhere is going to be that way. So I hope it goes well for you in particular, Libra. All right. So full moon is in your 9th, Jupiter is in your 9th, Saturn is over there causing trouble in your 6th house. Okay, so you might be, you have to be responsible for your health, right? You have to be responsible for your emotional health and for your physical health. All right, I'm seeing kind of both there. I'm seeing a mind-to-body connection picture turning up in your 6th house, your health house, because Saturn is in Pisces, and that's about the unconscious. And the 6th house is about the physical self. And there are some schools of thought about health that maintain that the body is the unconscious mind. So we do store a lot of emotional programming in our physical tissues, and sometimes by working things out on the level of the physical body, we can also affect change in our unconscious, in our energy body. And so that's a way that you can use the mind and the body to affect the changes that you want, especially if you're struggling with some kind of a health issue or some kind of an illness right now, Libra. Because Saturn in your solar 6th house is kind of a long-term thing. It's been going on for probably about a year-ish, a bit more perhaps. And it'll go on for a little bit more of a while. Mars is retrograde in your 11th house. The 11th house is your friend group and other groups or teams that you are a part of. If you have a regular meeting with a group of people, then that's that. It's social groups, it's work groups, it's a house of groups and teams. So with Mars retrograde there could be team members who are not showing up or who are not doing what they said they were going to do. There is some kind of disruption to the team dynamic or the social group dynamic or what have you. So there might be some reorganization. There might be a little bit of a slowdown if it's a social group. Not as many people show up because, their energy is just as drag ass and worn out as the rest of us. A lot of times we just don't have the extra spoons. We don't have the energy to spare to go out and have fun. So if that is you, then just be patient because it will shift. Just give it some time because Mars retrograde does take some time to play out. Okay, Libra. Let's draw some cards. Is this Libra's message? All right, this is your message, Libra. I keep seeing the same cards today. It's really weird, but your message is about disappointment. Your message is about a situation that you got disappointed in and that you have emotionally detached from. It may have to do with your school or, oh my God. Oh, so crazy. It may have to do with a school or a religious organization or somebody that you met through school or has something to do with school or a belief system. Or it could be that the system itself, the school itself, the institution itself is what you are disappointed in. But you are taking a break from things right now. You're kind of pulling back. It's like you've put so much energy into this thing that now you need to rest. You just need a bit of a retreat. You need to shut the world out and have a nap. You just need a retreat right now, Libra. Sometimes the world gets too ugly and overwhelming for our delicate Libra sensitivities because we like homeostasis and balance. And right now, like especially just walking around in America, everybody's so unbalanced. Everybody's so rude, you know? And Libras, can't we just at least be polite to each other so that we don't go around ruining people's days? Yeah, there's a lot of unfairness in the world right now, and that can be overwhelming. So if you need a break, Libra, damn it, take it. Take it. Do what you need to do in order to keep your heart safe and to keep yourself, to fill your own cup, Libra. I do see things improving for you, though. I see some kind of a happy situation coming together for you in the future. And this is the Four of Wands. If you know the tarot, this is kind of one of the marriage cards because it depicts like a ceremonial tarp with all the ribbons and there's a couple of people, happy people going, yeah. So there may be some kind of joyous ceremony or formalizing of something coming up for you. Are you getting married, Libra? Or if there's some other kind of joining or celebrating that you are planning in the near future, because that's kind of what I see coming up for you. What's interesting about this reading and what is wowing me about it right now is that 3 of the cards that I chose for you, Libra, are 4s. 3 of them are 4s, and 4s are about, they're kind of a stabilizing force. Because like a chair has 4 legs, it's like you need those 4s to kind of like be real stable. So there's a not movingness to the 4s in the tarot. But one of them is emotional, like you're disappointed. People might be reaching out to you, but you're like, just no more input right now. Just no more. I can't even right now. And that's an okay place to be as long as you're not there forever to the point where you're getting like depressed and stagnant. We all need a break sometimes, Libra. We all need a break sometimes. And that's what I see for you. Like right now, during this full moon, it's break time for you, okay? But in the near future, I see you starting to engage again and becoming more joyous and having something to celebrate. Because you're moving on. Because you're moving on to calmer waters and because the turmoil is done. All right? I don't know what this is. This just made me really happy to draw these clarifying cards about your future, Libra. I got the 6 of Blades, the 6 of Swords. It's about moving on from turbulence to calmer waters. We love that. So it's like you're packing up, you're taking your toys, and you're leaving a bad situation for something better. And then, oh my gosh, the best card in the deck. This is the Temperance card. The Temperance is about healing and rebuilding after a big life change. So, yeah, I love that. I love that. It's about being balanced between the earthly and practical and also the emotional and illogical and unconscious. So it's almost like when I look at this depiction of the energy of temperance, it's very much like I'm retooling, it's kind of like this. I'm resetting. I am equalizing so that all sides are in balance, so that I am restoring the balance, because it looks to me like you've been through it, Libra, and I wish you the best moving forward. Virgo, you're next. Virgo, this full moon is in your 10th house, your public life. Things are happening there. There's some expansion happening there. But you have to navigate the relationships pretty carefully. You have to put in the work. You have to be able to relate to others in a way that is compassionate and respects their humanity, the healy-feely side of being human and working with others. In other words, Virgo, if your soft skills could use some brushing up, then this is a golden opportunity to exercise that muscle and make it stronger and better. Saturn in Pisces, moving through your 7th house of relationships. Mars is retrograde in your 12th house, and this is kind of a you don't know what you don't know kind of situation, okay? It might be something that is hidden from you, or just a vague sense of, I don't know why my energy is so saggy. You might also have weird dreams, or even violent dreams during this period while Mars is retrograde in your 12th house. With Mercury retrograde in your 4th house, there may be some details that need to be worked out in your personal life as well. So let's draw some cards for you, Virgo. Let's see what the tarot has to say to you. Let's have a message for Virgo. This is Virgo's message. All right, Virgo. Another heartbreak. What is going on? I have so many repeat cards this time. Page of Coins, 2 of Coins, and the 10 of Cups. All right, so this is about a heartbreak that you've been through, or just a really, really difficult situation. People are gossiping, or, it's just like no bueno, not easy, no good. No good. You came into this situation really vulnerable, like almost childlike in your innocence, in your trusting nature of others. And it looks like you saw the truth and it broke your heart. But it wasn't too late to respond to it and make the adjustments that you needed to in order to deal with the new uncomfortable truth that had presented itself to you. And that's where you're kind of at right now, like, dodge that bullet, right? That's kind of what I'm seeing there. And you're getting yourself back into homeostasis. You're getting yourself back into balance now. You're starting to get that magic mojo, that Virgo mojo working again now. And then in the future position, what comes up but the 10 of Cups? And this is the card everybody wants to see. In the regular deck, this is the card that's got the happy family with the rainbows. And, if that is the goal that you're looking for, I have good news for you. All right? Even if you don't want the rainbow and the cis-het relationship and the kiddos, this is still a card of you getting what your vision is for the future. What are you looking for? What is success to you? What is happiness to you? Because I see that. I see something that makes you really happy coming up in your near future, which is probably, late this month around the holidays or into January. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, a part of you. Holy crap, Virgo, you win for the best draw. This is the best possible thing that could possibly begin with the 3 of knives or swords or whatever. Blades. The 3 of blades. best possible outcome that could possibly come from the Three of Blades, because all I see in the future is wonderful cards. Okay, that 10 of Cups that I told you about, the 10 of Elixirs, the Judgment card, which is a part of you that has been felt dead inside, is waking up. You're leveling up. You're being called to something greater. And the Sun is a card of happiness. This is a card of full realization of truth, being in your joy, and having some kind of happiness. It also speaks to a time frame, which might be around the summertime, or around the summer solstice, or even as late as Leo season, which is July, August. Fabulous, Virgo. I love this for you, and I hope that works out really well, because you deserve it after what you've been through, this Three of Swords. So good luck to you, Virgo. All right, Leo's next. Aries is going to be last. Aries doesn't like being last, but whatever. We can deal. We can deal. I'm an Aries. We can deal. Oh, Leo, this Mars retrograde has you tired out. Mars retrograde in your solar first house. Ooh. You're going to have to rely on your team a little bit more. And that's where I see the full moon taking you. It appears in your house of friend groups and teams. So you might feel like retiring from stardom for a little while in order to lend your support as an audience member during this full moon part of the lunar cycle. Okay, there might be more people coming into the group, more people coming into the team, but that just creates more work because you've got to train them, you've got to kind of show them what to do, and also you don't know, when it comes to new people, you're not sure if you can trust them yet. You're not sure if you can be the full expression of yourself, or if you're ready to let people see what's in your deep down inside, if you want to let your guard down and be vulnerable. Okay, so you're still kind of feeling out the waters when it comes to new people in your life, right? You know, and that's because you've been hurt in the past, like, haven't we all? Like, and we walk around in America today. It's not an easy place to be, so we have to give ourselves grace, even if nobody else in our environment will. I'll give you grace, Leo, and you need to give yourself grace too. Yeah. Mercury is retrograde in your 5th house. The 5th is the house of games, amusements, children. If you are a parent, then your children might need a little extra guidance to help them sort out the details of their lives, which may be kind of overwhelming to them at this point. And this may have to do with some holiday travel. I'm not really sure, because, you know, usually like kids are like, whoa, we got time off school, like no homework, no details, no nothing. But it's like there's something that they're going to need some guidance in, just to keep them from like really messing things up. Right? Children can get into kinds of trouble that I can't even imagine. So just keep an eye on the littles as this Mercury retrograde finishes up in Sagittarius in your 5th house, if you have littles. If not, then, you know, just have a Mercury retrograde. And the 5th is also the house of creative projects, and Mercury retrograde is about going back into the past. If you have children of your mind, children of your heart, your creativity, then this might be a good time to go and review those works and see what ideas you can generate for future projects as well. So let's draw a few cards for Leo. All right, is this a reading for Leo? Yes, it is. 2 of Blades. This is about a decision you're trying to make. This is about a fork in the road, a fork in the path, and you have to take one or the other. You can't do both, and you can't do neither either. Well, here's an interesting line. So connected to this decision is a past situation where you felt abandoned. You felt left out in the cold. You felt like you didn't have everything that you needed. Currently, you are in a place of envisioning this future. You are making plans. You are looking ahead. Maybe you're forecasting. Maybe you are just making plans for the future. Now, you really got your eye on the future right now. You're letting go of this old situation where you felt so depressed and tired and poor and cold and abandoned and sad, right? The future for you going to be better. There's the 9 of Cups, all right? The 9 of Cups, the wish fulfillment card. We love the 9 of Cups. Bliss, joy, love, getting your wish. Finding your bliss. You're on your way. You're on your way, Leo. I love that for you. Let's see if we can get a little bit of more information on this future path, please. There's a collaboration. And there's some kind of new thing coming your way. Something new that you're enthusiastic about. Something that you're a beginner at. It grabs your passions, but you don't know a lot about it. All you know is you want to know more. And in order to learn more about this thing, I'm almost seeing like a mentorship or a on-the-job learning kind of thing where somebody might take you under their wing, and in exchange for them teaching you how to build a table, you help them build a table, and by the end of it, you have a lot better idea how to build a table. Okay, so I don't know what the table is specifically for you, but that's kind of what I'm seeing here is some kind of situation where you learn something that you've maybe always wanted to learn. Maybe this is a newer passion, or maybe this is something that you've always wanted to learn, that you've always wished you had the opportunity, and I see it coming in the near future. Awesome, Leo. Awesome, Leo. Aries, last but not least. I thank you very patiently for waiting, even though I know you probably just skipped to the end so you could hear your reading. I get it. It's fine. Let's look at your chart, Aries. Aries, this full moon appears in your 3rd house. 3rd is about communications, relatives, siblings, neighbors. There is activity happening in this part of your life. There can be new information coming your way around the time of this full moon. The 3rd is about information. It's about messages. So, check your messages. I know we all do. I know we're all tethered to our phones most of the time nowadays, unless you're super lucky. But then what are you doing cruising YouTube? Oh, gosh. Okay. So the trick that I'm seeing to this full moon for you, Aries, is to keep your ears open, but know when to keep your mouth shut, because you could also divulge too much if you are not careful. So just be careful what you say and think about how it might be received in a way that you didn't really intend. Yeah, because the messages go both ways. It can be about what you're hearing and picking up. Oh my God. And it might be too much information at times. You're just like, stop it. Just stop the world. Shut it off. Because you get overwhelmed. I get that. So, make sure that you have some retreat time too. That is your work, actually, to be honest, because I am seeing Saturn in your solar 12th house, and that is the need to work on yourself, the need to work on your deep down, innermost, private, unconscious self, to get down in there spiritually, to access your intuition, practice divination, do all the things, and practice compassion for yourself and for other people. Not to the point that you're a doormat, not to the point where you're saying yes to things that you should be saying no to, and you know in your heart of hearts that you can't take on, but you say yes because you don't want to make anybody mad or something like that. Like, that's not the kind of self-sacrificing behavior that is going to get you anywhere. But an honest examination of your own feelings and taking responsibility for how you respond to your own inner stuff, and also the people around you, kind of what you're picking up from the world around you. This might be a time to practice energy hygiene a little more diligently than your usual. Or if you have never looked into that, this is a great time for that, because I can see you kind of picking up all kinds of energies that ultimately can weigh you down in your unconscious. You know, when we walk through the world in America, if you are in America with me, we walk through the world and, you know, it's a crap show out there. It's a shit show out there in America. People are so angry at some kind of archetype, and you walk in and you're a stranger that seems to fit that archetype, and then like they end up throwing all that negativity at you. And on the energetic level, that stuff can get stuck in your energy field. So energy hygiene is about cleaning that energy field out so that you can sleep better, rest better, just feel better, and you're not carrying around a bunch of judgments and negativity and nastiness that is not really yours to carry. Mars is retrograde in your 5th house of self-expression. And, you know, Aries, we love to express ourselves. But while Mars is retrograde, opportunities for self-expression may slow down. You might not have as much energy for fun and games as your usual. You may not have as much energy for your children as usual. Or your children may be more demanding of your energy because they've got frustrations of their own that, you know, they're not as mature as you are and equipped to work it out on their own. They might need your help, your guidance. So keep an eye on your kiddos during this time and respect your level of energy. It might not be as high as your usual because Mars is your ruling planet and it's going retrograde for a long time. So yeah, all the Aries and all the Scorpios are going to have less gas in the tank than usual. All right, Aries, let's draw you some cards. Is this the Aries message? Ooh, the Hermit. This message is about a period of withdrawal. This is about Saturn in your solar 12th, I think. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This reading is about introspection. It's about the Hermit. It's about going within so that you can find your true light and then shine that forth in the world to help you discern what's true or not, to help you bring clarity to something in your life, okay? So you're pulling back and you're getting clarity so that you can move forward again with clarity, rejoin the world with clarity. I see you in the near future, like, really getting into something. Knight of Coins here. Knight of Coins. Knights are gung-ho, man. They are going for it. And so you are going towards a financial goal. That's front and center on your front burner in these next few months. Okay? So the Hermit is here. So this is about this period of hermitude. This is about finding the clarity in yourself so that you can move forward in the world with clarity. And this is your present. This is the star. This is you moving forward into the world. Fabulous. The star. I love the star. The star is 17. It's card 17. So the star is what happens after card 16, which is the Tower. All right. So the Tower is, it all came crashing down. One day I understood the truth and it all came crashing down. And the star is the healing. This is the clarity that reveals the guides in the night sky, and like finally you get it and you're healing and you're getting ready to move forward. And this is where you are at present, Aries, in a very good place, healing and getting ready to move forward and pursue your financial goals. Right? I am seeing the Knight of Coins as someone who is very cautious. So you might need to be cautious with your finances for a while, all right? Because it can take a while to get there, especially with so many planets in retrograde right now. So be cautious, be mindful of your spending. You might need to pull back for a while, right? But do it with gusto, man. Yeah, because you're really manifesting, I think. In the past, you were less able to communicate clearly with others than you are now. And that, I think, is making a difference here. That might be something to do with what this hermit time is about. Or it may have something to do with what caused the tower to fall, so that you found your way to the star part of the journey. If that makes sense. The tower falls, the situation goes away. It was never what you thought it was, unfortunately. And so you have to let it go. But in doing that, you have freed up so much of yourself that was caught up in this situation that wasn't really even that real. So, you're just in a real good place, Aries. You're healing, you're pulling yourself back up by your bootstraps. You're getting yourself together, and you are manifesting your best self. So keep on keeping on, Aries. You're doing fabulous, and I love this for you. You know, this time, Aries, I kind of want to look more in the past, because I don't really understand why I'm seeing this Page of Blades in the past. So permit me to go a little bit into your past. All right. Well, there's a Queen of Blades here too. There's a Queen of Blades and a Page of Blades. The Queen is like a adult female, if you will, and the Page is a child. So this is really quite interesting, kind of almost mother and child picture here from your past. And they're looking in different directions. When I put them together, they're looking different directions. They're not looking at one another. So this might be about a split with a family member, particularly a mother. It could be about a rift with a child that you're healing now and that you're moving back towards. Okay. I just don't want you to go balls out towards them. This card is saying, be conservative in your approach. Be careful. Don't try to do it all at once. You know, it was like if your emotions were money, you wouldn't want to spend it all in one place. You would, kind of like spend a little bit and see how that goes, and then spend a little bit more and see how that goes. And if it starts to not work, if you start to not get what you expect back, then and you haven't put all of your eggs in the same basket. 7 of Coins, you're waiting on something, it's coming. Ace of Coins, fantastic. A new financial beginning, possibly a windfall from that Ace of Coins. I don't know, but your financial future is looking bright after a time. Okay, it's going to take some time for things to get established. It's like you're just getting back on your feet after, whatever it is you've been through. So give yourself time. Tighten your belt and live your best life, my friend, because you are in a major healing process. And I'm so proud of you, Aries. All right. That's all I got, people. Go on my website, mollysastrology.com. I got some free calendars. I got a free career guide for the 12 signs. Peruse my free stuff. And if you like that, then consider my pay stuff. I got a 2025 calendar. I got a moon calendar. I got a what I call a Seasons of Astrology calendar with emojis to help you find your way around, color-coded, super easy, just for you, and I hope you'll love it. Seasons of Astrology, mollysastrology.com to see all my stuff. I'd love for you to visit. See y'all later, and thanks again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.